All right, where do I even begin? I literally wrote a freaking sticky note. I was really in my feelings when I wrote this. It was centered around father's cousin's wedding. So we had a wedding to go to this weekend. And if y'all didn't see the photos already, like, I had a stressful weekend, but I look good doing it. All right, let me just show you the pictures. Oh, there she is. Oh, who's she? Who is that? So, earlier this week, Milo actually got the flu shot. I don't know how the flu shot affects y'all, but for an infant, for a baby, it's not a good time, let me tell you. So we had to like deal with his fussiness pretty much the whole week. But I was like, you know, it's gonna probably die down like around the wedding on Sunday. Girl. That's what we were running with already. It was that Milo was being really fussy. If y'all don't already know, when he's sick, he wants mom. He wants mother. Because he's like, he won't let me out of his sight without crying. I literally cannot put him down. He'll start wailing. The stress is already building. So I'm just like setting the scene for everyone, okay? We went to the Airbnb by the venue. So I wasn't expecting much. It was like a place for us to just stay. The Airbnb said house, entire home. It's like, good, okay, we have our home, this home to ourselves. You can see where I'm going with this. It wasn't a house. It was a shared home.
Yeah.
The downstairs was an apartment and there was an upstairs apartment. It didn't bother me at first, but then when we went in, unpacked, blah blah blah, Milo was fussy, crying. I was trying my best, and Andy too, but like again, like for father, Milo does not want father right now. He wants me. So it's just like all me. I had to hold him, like pat him, do all this stuff. From an outsider's perspective, people would have thought that we were abusing Milo because like of how badly he was crying. It was very, very loud. I did not realize how thin these floors were. During the day when, like, I think it was like the day before the wedding, I was just like holding him, consoling him. At this point, I'm drained. I'm so exhausted, overstimulated, overtouched. I just didn't, I couldn't. I was already like at my limit. But my guy upstairs comes down and he knocks on the door. And this is how father described it. I didn't see any of this because I was in the bedroom. He knocked on the door and he was like, already came up like looking angry at us. He's like, is there any way we can make the baby stop crying? So I was already crying at this point, or like I was very much like in the brink of tears. I was just like, I already felt like guilty. And then there's also the fact that I thought this was the whole house to ourselves. This is like why I booked that house. So wedding day, the fit, I had it all done. I'll show you a picture of Mido too. There he is. Look how cute. Look at my little man. It's father, mother, and my dodos. But yeah, I was ready. I was like, oh my god, if anything's gonna cheer me up is dressing up and looking fine. The first 2 hours or so, he was so clingy. But yeah, he was being fussy the whole time. Sorry. And girl, I was wearing platformers, or what is it, chunky heel? Like 4 or 5 inch. The worst mistake of my life, dude. It was so bad. So I was walking in those while carrying him, and let me tell you, my calves are like I still feel it now. It was a workout, but like I changed right back into my Converse and I couldn't. He was also very overstimulated from all the people, like everyone and their mother was going up to Milo, and he is a pandemic baby. So if y'all haven't met pandemic babies, they're kind of just like not used to all the people. It was a lot for him. So he was overstimulated, screaming. I didn't even get to see the ceremony. I actually just hung out in the bridal suite because of that. I had a little photo shoot with him. It was really cute. I used my time very wisely and just did a photo shoot with myself. I was sad that I didn't get to see the ceremony, but I think they recorded it, so I get to watch it later. It was just that for the beginning of the wedding. It was not fun for me. And it was so sweet because like the bride and groom were just checking in on me. And I was just like, I feel bad that y'all are trying to take care of me at your wedding. Like that, I felt so bad. Like obviously the anxiety was building. I was like, I feel like I'm taking away from them. I'm getting like really emotional just thinking about it because it's like, it was a lot. I didn't cry about it during the wedding, but I was holding it back because like the whole family was there. I just had to like really show face. I spent like, I would say half of the wedding or more than half the wedding in the bridal suite.
Sorry.
Okay, so I would say this is like halfway through the wedding, and I was able to finally like start inching my way out. The one thing I was able to catch, which I'm glad I caught, was actually father's speech, because he was actually the best man of the wedding. It made me really emotional because one of the I'm gonna cry. Ooh! Part of the speech was about us, because Andy's cousin, the first night we came home from the hospital after literally giving birth, I actually had to get rushed to the ER. I thought I was having heart problems. By the way, it was nothing. It was just anxiety. Apparently, like my heart was hurting so bad, it was anxiety. That night Andy's cousin was there in place of just like supporting, because like I had to be in the ER, so who's gonna be with Andy and Milo? So that got me really emotional. I'm glad I caught it, because for me it's such a traumatic memory, and for him to share that with everyone and realize how hard that was. I think I'm going on a tangent now, but it's just like, that's why I'm happy I went to the wedding, even though I knew it was gonna be a fussy, like a really bad time for Milo, because I knew like the couple that got married meant so much to us. That was a beautiful moment. So there's a high, and this is what I'm saying. It was a roller coaster of a weekend. Another high, a few highs coming in. Okay, during the wedding, father's parents were able to take Milo away from me, and he didn't cry once, and just like they went to the bridal suite, and I was able to actually drink and like enjoy myself, like literally be free of him for like an hour. It was like such a relief. I was able to like actually enjoy myself a little. With Milo's schedule, we kind of like to keep tight on his like sleeping schedule, because otherwise he will get more fussy. So we were like, oh, it's 7 o'clock, we gotta head out now. The wedding itself, I think the reception ended at like 9. We were like, okay, not too far off. By that time came, we were just like, okay, we gotta go. We said bye to the bride and groom. Then I might cry at this part. Like, as I'm trying to walk out, because I'm like, okay, we need to get Milo, and we have to like deal with him at the Airbnb. Like, I was already mentally preparing to just like be at war. So I'm like game face on, and then literally I'm walking out, and I turn to look for father in the crowd. I see him bawling his eyes out, and I literally have to like bob and weave through people. I'm like, the f is happening? What the hell? Speak to me. And he was like so caught up in his tears and his feelings, he couldn't speak to me. And I was like, can someone tell me what's happening? And then it was like the groomsmen and like obviously the couple, they like came up to me and they're like, so we asked the DJ to like play a song for those who weren't able to have their first dance, because with father and I mean, because we actually had our wedding 2020, like literally beginning of the pandemic. So we had a big wedding planned, but obviously the plans changed. We had maybe 100 people on the list. We had to narrow it down to 10, and because of that, it was just like in the backyard. It was a beautiful wedding, let me tell you. It was like such a beautiful intimate wedding, but we didn't have a dance floor or anything. They told the DJ to play a song, and so we were able to do our first dance that night. It was really nice of them to do that, and they were like, listen, you deserve it. It's a weekend you've been going through, because they've been watching me. They've been watching us like really struggle with Milo and not having a like alone time. So literally like the floor was ours for that moment. It was just like so beautiful. Forever a core memory for me, seriously. That was the high. That was like the high of like the whole weekend. Such a beautiful gesture to us, and they were just like, you guys mean so much to us. They were like, we couldn't not do it for you, because like we knew that your wedding was canceled and like you didn't get this chance, and now you have the floor. Father and I were literally ugly crying. We're just disgusting crying. It definitely felt like we needed that. As parents, you kind of forget about each other, like spending time with each other, because you're so focused on your your child. That was very much needed for both of us. That was a weekend.